media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, this is the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Brandon is out today. My name is James DeJerome. I produce the show for Brandon. I've been with him for a couple of years now. Brandon started this show about 7 years ago. You know, Brandon's a real estate professional here in the Bay Area. He owns the Platinum MVP team. He's a Keller Williams agent. And he had this great network of folks he was doing business with every day out there. And he thought, man, I could bring this information, all this knowledge I've gained to the public here in the Tampa Bay area. He started the Consumer Quarterback Show. We are advocates for you. We want your dollar to go as far as it can in the marketplace. So we collected a bunch of partners. You know, the Consumer Quarterback Show is a team. We brought together these folks, and they come in, take time out of their busy days to bring some information, some knowledge, and that makes your dollar go farther in the marketplace. And that's the whole idea behind the Consumer Quarterback Show. We are advocates for you, and Brandon has put the show everywhere for you. So we stream the show live. If you're listening to us on AM 860 in the drive time afternoons, we certainly appreciate that. We want you to check out our live stream. You know, we live stream to Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. We've got a smart TV. If you're a smart TV owner, you can find us on by searching Binge TV Networks on your smart TV. The Consumer Quarterback Show will come up for you. In addition, we have a Sunday show on 102.5 FM. So Brandon has gone out of his way to put the show everywhere because our partners have great information for you. There's great value for you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. In addition to our partners, we have pulled together a bunch of great sponsors. Brought in Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning. Brandon, as a real estate professional, has a need for a cleaning company. You can imagine a lot of these deals have to get done. You have to get the house clean. The property has to be cleaned in a hurry. Well, Jade jumped right in and became the official cleaning company of the Consumer Quarterback Show. She handles all the cleaning needs for the Platinum MVP team. We talk a lot about local economy here, local business. Well, Jade is family-owned, local business right here in the Tampa Bay area. Check them out online at jadespremiumqualitycleaning.com. Again, they're COVID-19 certified too. Okay, and we have some real estate for you. Any of the property you hear me pitch here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, you can find with Brandon. Brandon is, as I said, the owner of the Platinum MVP team. He's got real estate opportunities, both commercial and residential, even in this time of low inventory. Johnny, our TV producer here, is going to throw up a couple of properties. And again, anything you hear pitched on the show, get in touch with Brandon about it. Okay, if you want to get into the Newport Richey area, here's a 2-2 condo. 874 square feet, 5727 Biscayne Court in Newport Richey. Brand new appliances. Community has a pool and a clubhouse. You got a marina and covered parking. So there's a condo opportunity in the Newport Richey area. Again, Brandon has residential and commercial opportunities throughout the Bay. What else you got for me, Johnny? All right, here's one in Riverview. If you're looking to get into the Riverview area, here's a beautiful home, 6'5", with a 3-car garage. It's got a covered and screened lanai. 4,500 square feet, so 13204 Fawn Lily Drive in Riverview. If you want to get into the Riverview area, great opportunity, beautiful home right on the water. Man, get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. As I mentioned, they've got opportunities for you, both commercial and residential. Brandon always says, don't leave money on the table. Get in touch with them for all your real estate needs. All right, one of our partners that comes on every day, every week with us rather, is Diane Vance from Fairway Independent Mortgage. Because the real estate is the driving factor here in the economy in the Tampa Bay area, it's a subject that we talk about a lot on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Diane is our mortgage professional. Diane, what's going on today?
Oh, it's still good. I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all the listeners out there. It's a great time to be thankful, and we're almost over this COVID thing, I have a feeling. So I think next year we'll all be able to visit our families at
Thanksgiving. A lot to be thankful for. Thanks, Diane, for reminding me.
Yes, absolutely. So today I want to talk about some things about, it's almost the end of the year, and a lot of times we have a lot of people that want to purchase a home so they can actually have an ability to be able to save on taxes. Mm-hmm. And the way you do that is by filing homestead. So anybody that purchased this year and is living in the property as a primary residence as of December 31st, they can actually file homestead. Now, homestead follows the property if it's a primary residence for the person that was living there when you purchased your home. So if it's an investment property or second home, it does not have homestead on it, then you must file homestead by March 1st of the next year. So you would be paying the higher taxes until they actually assess it and give you that. And there's actually up to a $50,000 deduction on the actual value of the home that gives you a discount on the actual taxes. So a lot of people, when they especially want to get in, we can still do loans and get in prior to Christmas.
Right.
I know a lot of people right now are looking for homes. Again, there's not a lot of inventory out there.
That's right.
But we want to make sure that people are actually looking at their time frame. And if you are looking at homes that possibly are currently investment properties or second homes or something like that, you want to make sure and try to close before the end of the year so you can take advantage of the homestead.
So some critical dates, Diane, there to remind you guys of some of the things that we, real estate in this area is, like you said, because of the low inventory, it's going fast. Houses are coming on the market and they're going that day with multiple offers. So if you're not prepared to pull the trigger, you can definitely miss out, and this process could become a little more tedious for you. And then with the critical dates, you certainly don't want to, we talk about leaving money on the table, you certainly don't want to mess up that homestead exemption. That's critical.
Yes. And do not forget to file homesteads. So when you close, and then what happens is you will receive some information in the mail from the title company after closing. That's when you want to actually, that should be your reminder to file homestead. I've had some customers, I remind my customers via email, but not everybody reads email sometimes. But everybody should make sure and put it on their calendar to make sure they do it by March 1st. They don't forgive it after that. So you have to wait a whole another year if you miss that March 1st date.
Hey, Diane, I need your help. I don't know a lot about this subject, but when you're in a property that has a homestead, the previous owner had the homestead, what is the filing process then for you as the new homeowner?
Then you will receive a letter from the county that says, are you filing homestead? Because the property currently has homestead on it. You still should automatically do that, but you do receive a letter from the accounting to remind you to actually, that you still need to file the homestead, but it does follow the property. So they will follow up with a letter to you. Dan,
again, forgive my ignorance. Is it based on the cost, the new sale price of the property, or how is that determined?
It actually is based on the assessed value of the property. Once the property appraisers assesses the property, but it actually, because as you know, when you look into the property appraiser's office, it's not what you actually pay for. It's not actually the market value.
Right.
They actually, because they take off some, it's just not the same as market price. So they're going to actually assess it, and then that's where the discount comes from. But there's actually a great tool on the Pinellas County website and the Hillsboroughs. I'm not sure if it is on Pasco, I don't remember. But they have a homestead exemption and a portability. You can actually figure out what your calculator will be.
Oh, great.
There's a calculator on the left-hand side if you do go to the pinellascounty.org.
Okay.
Pinellas County Property Appraisers, and it'll come up with their website. And you can actually, if you're looking at a home, you just go on the left-hand side, and it'll tell you, it'll say, what are my taxes going to be? And you can go in, and it'll give you a rough estimate. It's going to base that on your purchase price,
right,
which is a safe way to do it. But it's actually Pinellas, it's pcpao.org.
Okay.
And then on the left-hand side, it has, let's see here, exemptions and Save Our Homes portability. So if you want to see the homestead exemption or Save Our Homes or
right
portability, it's right there, and you can put in, there's a tax estimator right below it. So you can put in your address. You can put in. It explains it. So it's really a good. And Hillsborough County has a similar website.
Well,
so you want to make sure you know what you're doing, because
Yeah.
if you purchase a home, let's say that is 20 years old, and the person's lived there and they paid $100,000 for it 20 years ago, now it's $300,000. Those taxes that you're paying, if they're still in the primary home, those taxes you're paying are actually a lot lower than what you're going to pay, because you're now paying $300,000 for the property. So there's actually some ways to figure it out. We actually have a service that with an attorney that can actually figure what your taxes will be. But even just going on the local website, you're going to figure that out. You're going to be pretty close. If you put in the sales price, and then it'll say,
right,
the exemption. Now, veterans, if you are a disabled veteran, you can actually qualify for no taxes. So you can get tax exempt from the county if you're a disabled veteran.
Well, I love that you guys do so much for vets. If you could, just in keeping with the spirit of Veterans Day this month, the whole month should be Veterans Month. But tell us a little bit about what you got. I know you guys have great deals.
Yeah, we actually have. We do a lot of VA loans. We do an American Warrior Initiative, which is we just gave 3 service dogs away to veterans around the country. We did a Zoom. Normally, we were actually going to have one this year, but of course during COVID, we will invite realtors and do CE credit about educating them on the VA loans, because a lot of people don't understand VA loans.
Right.
And a lot of realtors think it's a zero down program. There is no cost to the seller, not with us anyways. There's no additional cost to the seller. It's a zero down program for the veteran. It's a great way to buy, and it's a great way to sell.
And what an amazing opportunity for all those folks out there that are stuck renting. You know, we talk a lot about this show. Stop renting, especially if you're a veteran. You've got great opportunities in front of you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't even have to have that down payment. I mean, you can actually get with one of Brandon's, one of the agents there, and they can go out and find you home and possibly have the seller pay some of those closing costs, maybe.
Yeah, that's a great
There's
deal.
a lot of things you can do. But, I just talked to somebody the other day that she's like, I'm paying $1,500 a month in rent, and and it's not up until April. I get my tax refund back, and I also have my deposit that I already paid my first month, so I wouldn't have a payment there. And we figured up, and she is going to be pretty close to her 3% down payment. So she is planning on, that's what her plan is.
Right.
She said, why would I make she's like, I've been renting for years, and every year it goes up. And I'm never, and I've moved every few years, so I just want to be stable and stay in a house. And, that's mine, and build some equity in it.
If you guys are listening out there and you're paying rent, man, get in touch with Diane and just see what's out there for you, because you'll be surprised once you add everything up. You're probably already in the ballpark.
Yes, absolutely. And especially if you are thinking about buying a home before the end of the year this year, let's get you in so you can get pre-approved and all set to go. Because, you're running out of time.
That's right.
This year has actually went pretty fast. But we definitely can, we close fast anyways, but we really close fast as we get closer to the end of the year, because we know how important it is for homestead.
That's right. Diane can shop all different kinds of deals. She's got Fairway Independent Mortgage allows her. She's got so many products for you. Let her shop for you. Let her look around and see what's out there for you. Diane, I know DianeVance.com. What else can they do?
They can actually text me or call me at 727-647-8199. That is my personal cell phone. I have an office number, but it's forwarded to my cell phone number.
So Diane Vance, she's been active in the real estate market for a long time in the Tampa Bay area. Great advice. Comes on the show all the time and reminds us of critical things like that homestead exemption date. Don't get stuck with that. And also, if you think you can't get into home purchase because you don't have the money, we talked about the renters out there getting in touch with her. But also, if you have credit issues, you think you don't have enough credit to buy a home, Diane has a Sky Visa. Is that right, Diane? A little tricky way to get you some credit?
Sky Visa to get your credit up. I just sent somebody there this week, and he called me back and said it was very easy. Wasn't very far away from the credit score.
Okay. So
we figured out that's all he really needed, and he's working on it now. Or if the credit needs William, I'll get William Crawley involved. We work together.
Absolutely.
And that's always helpful. But yeah, definitely just get started. Don't stick your head in the sand.
That's right.
You can do that in Florida, but
don't wait. Get ready now if you're looking to buy, and if you're renting, see what you can afford to do. Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, our great partner on the show, comes on all the time. We're going to go into a break right now. Thanks so much, Diane, for giving us that information.
Thank you. You guys, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you too, Diane.
Thank you.
All right, Diane, our real estate professional. Works with Brandon and all the guys. William Crowley, she mentioned, the credit expert, comes on the show all the time. We're trying to get you out of renting and into purchasing, because we know that owning real estate is the key to starting your wealth. We want you to establish a little wealth and have some financial security. Purchasing a home is a critical step. We're here for you. We want you to check out all our partners, not just Diane Vance or William Crowley, but all our partners at consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
PlatinumMVPTeam.com. Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
That's right. Give Brandon a call. He's got everything you need in terms of real estate. He's a real estate professional, owns the Keller Williams team. He rounded up all our partners and began the Consumer Quarterback Show for you. In addition, we've got great sponsors. The sponsor for this segment is Golf Cart Depot, also known as Discovery Golf Cars. You know, more than golfers are buying golf carts these days. They're for business, recreation. Everyone is getting a golf cart, and these folks are where you want to go. Discovery Golf Cars has lots of opportunities. You can rent them. You can buy them. They've got Easy Go, Star EV, Cushman. They sell them new and pre-owned. You can rent them or buy them. As I mentioned, they offer financing and mobile repair. They have 2 locations, Tampa and Clearwater. If you can't make them there, check them out online at discoverygolfcars.com, a great sponsor for us. Okay, we're going to pitch a few more properties because, as I mentioned, Brandon is a real estate professional with Keller Williams. As owner of the Platinum MVP team, he has real estate opportunities for you, even in this time of low inventory. Johnny's going to throw a few up right now. If you're looking to get into real estate, give Brandon a call because, as I mentioned, whether it's Seminole or anywhere else, here's one in Seminole, 213 Dogwood. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a 2-car covered garage, exceptional water views right by the beach. So if you're looking to get into a senior community, he's got an opportunity for you in Seminole, 213 Dogwood Circle. It's a condo, good-looking property, really, a 2-2 with 1,200 square feet. Here's one in the Palm Harbor area. So you want to get into Palm Harbor. It's got a beautiful residential opportunity here, 5-bedroom, 5-bath, 3-car garage, granite countertops, rather. It's a 1-year-old roof, so just got a brand-new roof. If you want to get to Palm Harbor, 4467 Glenbrook Lane, get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. Don't leave money on the table. Whether you want to buy a house, build a house, commercial or residential, he's got all your opportunities for you. Get in touch with him and the Platinum MVP team. Okay, Captain Will Smith is in our Salem Media Group studios. You know Captain Will from Will Smith Aviation. He comes on all the time and talks about his things he does, flying humanitarian missions down to the Bahamas, all that kind of stuff. But also, we're in development. We're in the development process. We're all going to learn about how to take a book to a movie because Captain Will's story is kind of inspiring. If you could just recap or start off a little bit, Captain Will, tell us what's going on.
Well, we started with the book, and then it had so much traction that we had opportunities to create a movie. And what we wanted to do with the Tampa Bay area is kind of get everybody involved and get the movie industry back, to Florida. We're currently in the developmental stages of making this movie, and making a movie is kind of like building a house. You have to start, break ground and then work your way up.
I'm learning all about it from you guys as the process goes on. The book, such a big hit. Everyone loves it. It's available on Amazon still. Captain, you got 2 books.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
One is Falling from the Sky, which we're working in the development stages of the movie. The other one is Ditches to Riches. Ditches to Riches is a self-help book teaching people how to go from their $5 or $10 an hour job to making $100,000 or more a year.
Super inspirational story from Captain Will. You'll find it all in the book. But as far as the movie goes, this is an opportunity for you guys to get involved in making a movie.
Yeah, exactly. And what we have for the people in the Tampa Bay area, we have an investor opportunity. So you can be an investor, create an ROI, be a part of the movie, and watch the whole production. Be there while they're shooting the actual movie, meet the actors that are involved, the producers that are involved. And so it's really exciting times to bring opportunity and money and jobs to here. So we're hunting for investors that want to be a part of this, and people that want to take Tampa to another level and help be a part of bringing the movie industry back to Tampa Bay.
Really cool.
They're great tax incentives. We've managed to mitigate their risk down to 20% by doing pre-sales of the movie amongst the tax credits we get back for filming here. So it's really a low risk from a 20% and average, 80 to 20 for the investor to get in. And so anybody wants to be a part of what we're doing and be a part of the Tampa Bay filming industry, just give us a call, let us know. I've got information. You guys can see it. I was scrolling what we're doing. Doug Fox is our fund manager, so he can step you through every bit of the investment process.
So, we talk a lot on the show about economic impact, and sometimes it's a sporting event, the Super Bowl coming here. We talk a lot about hopefully COVID-19 is going to allow us to take full advantage of the economic opportunities afforded by hosting something like that. When folks come into your area, it's not just the meals they're buying, they're staying in hotels, they're staying in hotel beds and that kind of thing. It's a way to spark the whole economy. So again, bringing a production here is a great thing for our whole area, and that's why Captain Will and Brandon working together with this thing. This is an opportunity for all of us to kind of work together. Just think if there were movies made in Tampa all the time, not just cool to go to the movies and say, hey, there's my house or there's my place, but also the economic impact of it, and the really cool opportunities. Maybe it's some employment opportunities for folks out there who want to actually work in the industry as well.
Correct. Yeah, it's for the filming industry. It'll be a bunch of opportunities from anywhere from acting to being a part of the production team to just local restaurants that we may be filming in. It's there's so stand-ins with the actors, and there's just so many different opportunities because the filming industry brings so much to the community. Yeah. And by doing that, it's going to be an exciting time, and we're going to enjoy every bit of it.
I think it's really cool because the idea of making a film, of course, I've always been involved in broadcast and TV and that kind of thing, TV production. But the movie thing is really cool because it's an opportunity to affect the background and the people and the characters, and I just really think it's great bringing a book to life. I'm going to enjoy watching this whole process, I think.
Yeah, I am too. I'm very excited about it. I never thought it would get to this, but it's awesome. It's a fun journey.
Yeah, when you were writing the book, it wasn't like it was just telling your story. You're just kind of getting your story out there. It wasn't necessarily because you thought it would be someday a movie or something like that. So, dude, what's your impression now that you think people are going to hear my story? All these people are going to know my story.
Well, I wanted to bring awareness to what I went through from the legal side, and that's what it was originally about. Now, the movie is going to take it to a whole nother level about awareness on things that have happened. And we, last time we spoke, there was a guy that was wrongfully incarcerated for 37 years.
My goodness.
For something he didn't even do.
Right.
And we just need to bring awareness to this. So this is going to allow us to help bring awareness, help people that have gone through probably what I've gone through, and help them get back everything that they lost.
If you were a victim, you could imagine being forced to, no one knows your story and you've been wrongly accused. Could you imagine the frustration of dealing with that all the time? I mean, I just think like this book's going to touch a lot of people because they're going to say, man, I know exactly what's going on.
Yep. It will, and it is. I mean, I had so many doors slammed in my face because no one believed me. Like, yeah, sure, pal. Right. And they just don't give you a chance. And I want to be able to reach out to people and say, hey, there is a chance. There's a second chance. You can rebuild. It's unfortunate that a lot of people go through this, but it happens. And I just want to be able to show people there's a way.
Yeah, very inspiring story. Captain Will, as I said, I don't want to spoil the whole thing for you, but you want to learn the whole story. Captain Will had a situation where he had to fight through all this, and then became Will Smith Aviation is a great situation. He's doing such a good deal out there. These humanitarian missions you fly in, man, tell me about that. That is really cool.
Well, when the hurricanes came through the Bahamas, we were, Florida was the first to step up.
Right.
And we went directly to the devastated areas to get the relief there as soon as possible. It only took us an hour and a half to fly out there instead of having to go through Nassau and then having to ship it. It had been days and even weeks.
Right.
We said that's not suitable. So we went directly to, as soon as we got we had boots on the ground out there, and as soon as we got the runways opened up, we were out there with our what we needed in our aircraft to help the people because they just need the simple stuff like toiletries, and some clothes. Shoes were a big thing, and we made sure while having boots on the ground what the local people needed that they didn't have, and we brought that to them.
Man, very cool. Again, Captain Will Smith, we're coming into a break now. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about specifics about how you can get involved in this project because, again, the movie industry returning to Tampa is great for all of us, and these guys have gone out of their way to take a story that's really inspirational and kind of bring it to the screen. So this represents a chance for us to show our area off like we always do with sporting events and great activities that go on in the Bay Area, but then we're going to tell a great story as well, and we're going to get more into that when we come back from the break. Again, I want to thank Brandon for giving me the opportunity to host for him, and we've got a feel-good story because I want to remind. He always tells me, make sure you get that feel-good story in there. So we got a great story about a young kid discovered after he was lost in the woods for a couple of days in Tennessee. So a really great story. Don't go anywhere. Come on back. This is the Consumer Quarterback Show.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Alrighty, everybody stand by, please.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right, consumerqb.com is a great place to go to find all the partners you hear on the Consumer Quarterback Show, in addition to our great sponsors. The sponsor for this segment is the Bilmar Beach Resort. You know, the Bilmar Beach Resort is a great hotel right here in the Tampa Bay area. It is not a chain hotel. So if you've been to a Hilton or Radisson, Embassy Suites, they generally all look the same. Well, the Bilmar Beach Resort is a unique hotel. It's a boutique hotel. About 80% of the rooms face the Gulf. So lots of huge beach, sloppy joes down there, serves breakfast 7 days a week. So Clyde Smith, the GM, comes on the show all the time talking about the great specials and the things he does for folks in the Bay Area. So if you want to get out to the beach, man, don't forget what's out there. You know, sometimes we get busy in Tampa and we forget the beautiful beaches out there. Go out and see Clyde at the Bilmar Beach Resort. You can check him out online at thebilmarbeachresort.com. Okay, again, we've got a couple of properties to pitch for you. Brandon is a real estate professional here in the Bay Area. He owns the Platinum MVP team, so we always pitch a few properties. If you like any of the properties or want to see him again, get in touch with Brandon, and I'm sure he's got folks that'll get you in there. If you want to get into the Hudson area, here's a great opportunity. A place where you can build your own, man. He's got a big lot for you. Sailboat depth, right in the Hudson area, 5832 Beverly Drive, right on the water. You got a canal in the back, Gulf in the front. Man, sport fishing, kayaking, what a beautiful opportunity to build your dream home in Hudson, 5832 Beverly. Get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. Again, you can build one. You can get commercial opportunities, residential opportunities. He's got everything for you. Here, if you want to get into Clearwater, here's a commercial opportunity. You're looking to start a business in the Clearwater area. He's got a hot corner location with 2 garage doors, about 12 parking space, right at an intersection where there's a light in Clearwater, 1780 Clearwater Largo Road, 5,200 square feet. Great commercial opportunity to open your business in the Clearwater area. Get in touch with Brandon. Don't leave money on the table. Okay, before the break, we were speaking with Captain Will Smith Aviation. In addition, his book, Falling from the Sky, as it becomes a film, they're going to shoot it right here in the Bay Area. Captain, I want to give you an opportunity in the last few minutes before we let you go. What's the best way for folks who want to get involved? How do they get in touch with you, or what do they do?
There's 2 ways. You can call me at 813-421-9070, or you can email me at will@willsmithaviation.com. We'll put you in touch with our funding manager, and he will, step you through each process of being an investor. And if you don't want to be an investor, you just you're local and you want to do sponsorships, we're doing that as well.
Okay.
So we have sponsorships. So they'll have their signia on all our banners, our billboards, everything that we're doing that you helped sponsor. The movie industry coming back to Tampa.
Very cool. Lots of opportunities out there to get involved. Again, everything from being an actor to being an extra to hotel beds, restaurant. I mean, this thing's going to impact the Bay Area, and that's what we want to do. We want to create jobs and opportunities for folks. The more people we can bring in, the more we show off how great it is to be down here, the more folks are going to want to be down here. I can't wait to see how you guys are going to shoot the film. Like, give me some of your impressions of how the process has gone so far, Captain.
Well, right now we've sat down, we've created parts of the book that we're going to focus on.
Okay.
And we talked about this is probably going to be not just one movie, maybe two, possibly three, depending, because there's so much involved in what I went through.
Just to interrupt you for 1 second, when we always say movie, but we were thinking maybe a series, or kind of, you don't know exactly how it's going to look when you finish it.
Once we finish with the script, then that's going to determine whether we're going to be a full-blown movie or a series.
I see.
So that's the exciting part now, because you don't know. It's kind of like watching a movie, because you don't know how this is going to end.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're doing the script, we're like, well, this could lead to this, and this could lead to that.
That's right.
And it's just cool really exciting time. But I would love to get people involved in there. Any type of investor, if you want to be a sponsor, just help out the Tampa Bay area, and we get this thing rolling and have a lot of fun with it.
Great opportunity for all the folks in the Bay Area to get involved in a really cool opportunity that's different, something unique, and a way to really put your brand or your business in a location that maybe it's never been in, or a place where new eyes will see it, new ears will hear about it. So that's a great opportunity. I just want to talk a little bit about the inspiration behind the story. Captain Will has got a really cool story, and just briefly, if you could, Captain, just 2 minutes. I don't want to give it too much away, but just talk a little bit about how you had come up and went through all this adversity to come out the other side.
Well, it started years ago. This started back in 2001. I was wrongfully accused, convicted, and I spent 26 months in prison fighting my way out. We went as far as having a elected judge removed from the bench. She was no longer allowed to.
She's corrupt.
Yeah, she was. She was no longer allowed to run for an elected position or practice law. And there were so many twists and turns where I had to hire my own investigator, and then he unfortunately passed, and he wasn't there, and that was a shocking revelation that you'll read in the book. But there were just so many things, and just the awareness, after I was released, it was 37 people were allowed to have a second chance.
Yeah.
So it impacted a lot of people, and it's still impacting people, because people still call me today that said, hey, I need your help. I like your book. The second book is in the Florida Department of Corrections, helping with the people being released get a better start, and they have some type of foundation.
We'll introduce to Thomas Yelk, am I saying his name correctly?
Yep.
Cons Helping Cons, really cool concept behind that Captain Will wants to give back. That's the idea here. He's went through a situation that would sour a lot of people, maybe turn them bitter and maybe turn them against folks.
Right.
That's not what's going on here. He's trying to provide that inspirational story for you, telling you his story, and giving you an opportunity to see that you can get out of this situation you're in as well.
Exactly, and that's all it's about, helping each other. We're all, are going through this life, and at the end of it, it's who you helped and how you helped them. That's where that's my inspiration is helping others, because there's so many people that just feel lost, and I know that feeling. I felt lost, but now I can give back.
What a great opportunity. Again, if you want to get involved, get in touch with Brandon or Captain Will. They're both working on this thing together. We're taking this idea of his story to a book, to a movie. What a cool idea. We're going to take another break here. I got Jason Kobal in the studios, right here in our Salem Media Group studios. I want to thank Captain Will for coming in and sharing his story. And I want to give folks out there at the impetus, get in touch, get involved, man. What a cool project. You can get your business or your name involved in a movie. Are you kidding me? I'd love to do that. All right, Captain, thanks so much. Don't go anywhere, guys. We come back, I got a feel-good story for you about a missing 9-year-old found alive after 3 days in the woods. And don't forget about our sponsors and our partners at consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253. Check out consumerqb.com. Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
That's right. Get in touch with Brandon. He's got all your real estate needs covered as a member of the Platinum MVP team. As the owner of the Platinum MVP team and a member of Keller Williams Realty. You know, we put together a great bunch of sponsors. The sponsor for this segment is Brothers Easy Moving. Brothers Easy Moving is the official moving company of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They got to be that by moving Brandon himself. These guys did such a good job. Brandon said, man, you got to be the official moving company. These guys have tons of Angie's List Super Service Awards. Check out all their 5-star reviews at brotherseasymoving.com. Local or long distance, get in touch with them. They are the official moving company of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got a property to go here. One last one on the show. If you're interested in this one, please get in touch with Brandon. He's a real estate professional. If you want to get into the Clearwater Beach area, this is a 4-3 opportunity with the 2-car garage, 1010 Bay Esplanade, Clearwater Beach, 3,150 square feet. It's a 4-3. Really new, updated kitchen, white cabinetry. Looks really sharp. Again, if you want to get into the Clearwater Beach area, 1010 Bay Esplanade, get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team, commercial or residential. Don't leave money on the table. And we talked about the feel-good story before the break. This is the mandate for this show. Every show is going to inject some positivity to you. If you heard this story, you might not believe this. This is about a 3-year-old kid. It's been so cold out up there in the Tennessee area, and this young man spent 3 days out in the wilderness. Turns out a missing 9-year-old boy was found alive after a 3-day search. Jordan Gorman was discovered on Tuesday around 3 p.m. underneath a shelter made out of a tarp, about 3/4 of a mile from his home in Cheatham County, Tennessee. Cold and hungry, but otherwise in pretty good spirits. They said, good to see you when they found him. He jumped right up. His family said Jordan ran away after a disagreement on Sunday from the family's home about 30 minutes northwest of Nashville. They sent out the endangered child alert on Sunday before raising it to an Amber Alert on Monday afternoon. They got a rescue team together called the Christian County Rescue Team out of Kentucky. These folks got together and found this young man in just a short amount of time. They said in the past 3 days, temperatures dropped into the 20s. So you can imagine your son's out there for 3 days in the 20-degree temperatures. Aaron Hatt, the young man's father, told the news that his son has autism. At the time of his son's rescue, Jordan was living in Cheatham County with his 2 siblings. He's always been really resilient and an explorer type, his dad said. But to be standing out there for days with no jacket, no shoes, no socks, it's just crazy. What a great story. What a miracle that is. You know, a young man, autistic young child, 3 days on his own out in the woods. They find him. He's fine. Boy, his family's so happy to see him. All right. I want to make sure we have some inspirational stories for you just like that one. In addition, we've got great partners. Jason Kobal is here. Jason Kobal is one of our legal experts. He's been on the show a bunch. If you don't remember Jason, he's the first one that brought me the idea of post-traumatic stress for first responders. You know, you think about the things that first responders have to go through. This is particularly relates to the nightclub incident in Orlando, a horrific shooting scene. And some of the first responders suffered PTSD, as you could imagine, from seeing something like that. Well, they weren't allowed to claim that as medical insurance until that was resolved. Is that right? Talk a little about that case, if you could, Jason.
Absolutely, yeah. The law for workers' compensation prior to the recent changes said you cannot have PTSD exclusively as a case unless you it tied into a physical injury. Mm-hmm. So if you got a first responder who obviously sometimes they see some horrific things.
Right, that Pulse nightclub thing was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine the things they were forced to do. Right. And they may have not gotten physically hurt, but they sure developed PTSD. Mm-hmm. So that was actually a great change. And now you can have a PTSD claim if you're a first responder without having that corresponding physical injury. So that was a big improvement.
Certainly needed that, absolutely. Jason, what else is going on? You always have great information for us. We're going to talk a little bit about something you're developing, but I just want to give you a chance to see any cases. I know you had some cool stuff going on recently.
Yeah, I'm very excited still. I'm anxiously waiting. My firm was the first firm to file a lawsuit on this case where we're suing multiple medical providers. It's now, I'm out of it. It's a class action.
Okay.
And it's Davis v. Sheridan Health. And right now it's with the Supreme Court of Florida. We won the ruling on the DCA went our way.
Right.
But it's now, as a matter of public importance, before the Supreme Court of Florida, and they decided they're going to rule on it. They only pick a couple cases a year. So I'm hoping that they affirm it, because I have about 80 cases that are riding on that decision. Because what the argument is on the other side is I shouldn't be allowed to sue medical providers for billing injured workers in civil court. They say that should be handled in workers' compensation. Well, in workers' compensation, I don't have standing, they say, to bring those suits in workers' comp because my client doesn't owe the money to begin with, and they're getting billed for it. So I came up with this method of pursuing claims under the FCCPA, the Fair Debt Laws, and it's all the way up with the Supreme Court. I hope they do the right thing and affirm it, and then I can continue to pursue these cases.
Boy, this COVID-19 thing has been so crazy for everyone out there. A lot of folks, I'm sure, had no idea that they're not supposed to be billed.
Well, this is if you're an injured worker and you had a compensable case, meaning they accepted it, it's not fraud or denied or anything, you should not get billed at all.
Right.
And that's for workers' comp. And that's ironic you bring up the COVID, because I know you're not supposed to be billed for anything for that's COVID related. So there's going to be litigation coming my way for that as well.
I can imagine. So Jason Kobal, Kobal Law, great information for you all the time. And again, the stuff that the PTSD thing, it just seemed like common sense. It seemed like something that we should have. But until you go through the legal channels and get it worked out, again, the same thing with this billing issue, or the way Jason's handling it. This is all new, kind of new to us. COVID-19's new, so new legal issues are going to arise. You need to have somebody who's ready to fight for you a little bit, because you can get stuck on this stuff.
You know what's interesting? In order to do this, it requires a fair debt law that says you cannot knowingly bill someone that doesn't owe the money, and it requires a state workers' comp law to say you're not supposed to bill injured workers. Florida has both. There's many other states that have both, but in the entire country, this is the first time it went up to the Supreme Court for this type of fair debt case for this purpose. So it's the first case law in the entire country. Wow. Very excited. Just hope it goes our way.
Yeah. Is there a timetable for that, Jason?
No. This is the Supreme Court. They can take as long as they want.
Especially this time with this pandemic.
Exactly.
It's slowing things down.
Everything's I'm serving complaints, and I'm hearing from the clerk's office we might not get to pretrial for months, and that's understandable. Everything is backed up.
Yeah. Okay, so Jason Kobal, great stuff. Now, Jason's a bit of an entrepreneur as well. He develops casino games, and I think this is kind of novel. I like this. Explain your idea a little bit as we talk about this.
I can't take credit for this. This is my partner who made the app for my casino game. Now, I created that casino game.
Right.
But I had a partner for that little business deal, and he made the app for that game. Well, he came up with this idea, and it's a dating site.
Right.
It's called singledems.com, except for your profile, we ask exclusively, and I wrote a good number of the questions. I should say statements. It's a statement, and then you have to say strongly disagree to strongly disagree.
Okay.
And the more questions you answer, the stronger profile you have. They're all political. And then there's an algorithm that my genius friend figured out that we match people up based who have similar thoughts politically.
Right.
So that way, and we have a Republican site that's coming.
Right.
We have the App Store. It's going to be in the App Store for iPhone, iPads, and then also Google Play for Android users. And there's going to be one for the Republicans, one for the Democrats. So that way, a lot of relationships these days are breaking.
That's right.
Because of political fights. So might as well get that out of the way early.
What a cool concept. What a great idea. So tell me some of the questions, Jason. You constructed some of these questions?
Sure. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes,
so what would you ask somebody to find out their political leanings, other than just who'd you vote for?
Well, no. What we take pride in is we update the questions every week. Because, things move fast politically.
Yeah.
And it's a hot topic. For example, prior to the election, do you have faith in the mail-in voting process?
Okay.
Are you worried that your vote's going to count?
Gotcha.
Stuff like that.
Right.
Whatever the hot topic is for that particular week, that's what the questions are going to be about.
If you guys have ever been on a date or out with someone and everything was going really good, and then there was a comment that rubbed you the wrong way, or you realize this person may not agree with anything I think about it, it's funny how that can drive a wedge right between two people.
Especially these days, I don't know. I mean, even personally, I had a friend, no lie, I've been friends with him since I was 5, and he told me if I continue to or pull for a particular politician, that he doesn't want to be friends anymore. I'm like, come on, man.
Wow. Yeah, we are so divisive over this stuff. We feel like they take it so personally. Folks really take it personal.
Very surprising. And then, on my wife's side, there's family members not talking because of this. Right. I mean, and preemptively not going to a holiday dinner because of a political disagreement. It's just, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, you got to be patient. You got to be understanding of other people's viewpoints. We've lost that completely.
Yeah, I mean, I hope for the future, who knows what's going to happen. I hope we move more towards country first than party first, man, because it's rough.
Sometimes I think the party system makes us a lazy electorate. We just straight line vote. We don't take the time to really understand the issues represented by each candidate. It would do us better if we de-emphasize the party thing a little bit and made everyone do their homework.
I agree 100%. They don't even want to hear the other perspective.
Yeah, you can't get any information through anyone.
No, so that can't be good.
So if you're looking to find someone who feels the same with you politically, this may be an opportunity for you to find your match.
Yep, singledems.com. The website's open now. It just launched, and then the apps will be coming shortly.
So Jason Kobal, trying to be an entrepreneur like he is, they're coming up with new ideas all the time. Now you're going to be in the court system like you always are, representing different folks, and they're going to say, I have this political view or this political view. As an attorney, do the people ever put you on the spot and say, I want to know what your political, even though it may not impact the case or have anything to do with their case, they don't trust you unless they agree politically with you?
It just happened to me.
It just
happened to me about 2 weeks ago. I had a client point blank ask me, and I hesitated. I said, do I even want to answer this question?
Right.
This might totally blow the relationship.
Right.
But you know what? I answered it honestly, and everything's cool. So it worked out, but I was scared.
Yeah, I can imagine. People are, again, this is something that they just will not tolerate. People just don't bend on this kind of stuff.
Right. But I thought it would be better to be genuine and answer it than give a baloney answer and take the middle road.
No, I agree. But again, there's probably more things we agree on than disagree on. However, once you find one big one, you can't get past it. So in this relationship thing, you can imagine anyone who's been in a relationship for any amount of time realizes you're going to compromise eventually. You're not going to get your way all the time, right?
That's for sure.
So get used to that concept up front.
That's right.
Okay, Jason. Now, in the court system, because of COVID-19, we talk a lot about backups, and I haven't checked in lately on Tampa or Hillsborough County. What's your experience in the court system right now?
It's still very backed up.
Okay.
Because these bill cases, it happens a lot. So I file at least probably 5 lawsuits a week on these. And I file them in small claims, and what happens is you file the complaint, and then they automatically set a pretrial. It used to be, it would be like in about a couple weeks from...
Speedy.
Yes. Now it's like months. And they're just backed up.
Right.
And then it is a whole new ball game. Everything is by Zoom, and it's annoying. I had 2 hearings, one-on-one via Zoom, but both of them felt very strange. I felt like my client's not getting the same evaluation from the judge as far as credibility. In person is just so much better. And mediations are that way. Depositions, I don't like that at all. I hope we get back to the old way soon.
I don't know for certain, but I imagine there's lots of attorneys that like to be demonstrative, and in front of the court or judge, they use their body language, maybe some things that don't come through in the Zoom call.
Absolutely. And even myself, I don't know, it's a different feeling in person, and I get the adrenaline going.
Yeah.
By phone, it's just not the same.
I can imagine. Now, the judge in those Zoom cases, how does he keep people from talking over each other? Have you been in one where someone's not shutting up?
Well, that's the thing. They have they can mute people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. So, yeah, it's different. It's different. And then I had one, I think I mentioned on the show, I had one horrendous incident where it was a Zoom but by phone, so no video.
Right.
And the mediator and the other party thought that my client hung up. I hung up. And they said some things, assuming my client wasn't listening, and she heard it all.
Wow.
And it was a big debacle. But, yeah, that just shows. That would have never happened in person.
Right. So that was someone who allowed technology to get the best of them, huh?
Yeah. And I was a little upset over that one.
All right. So workers' comp. The other one is... what's the other spot? Personal injury?
Yeah, car accidents are big, man. I don't know what's going on. A lot of car accidents lately. And with that, my advice, and I've been seeing a lot of it, a lot of attorneys, they don't like to share what the policy limits are.
Okay.
And that is everything in these cases.
Explain.
You get hit by somebody, it doesn't matter how hurt you are. If they have the legal minimum, which is 10,000 PIP, that's personal injury protection, 10,000 property, that means they have no bodily injury.
No uninsured.
So if you have no uninsured motorist, UM, and they have the legal minimum, no attorney is going to take your case no matter how hurt you are, because you're not going to get any money whatsoever.
I never thought of that. You can't even get representation.
No way. Now, there's some, if the guy is like super rich and has assets, But if he has assets, he probably would have had insurance.
Right.
So that rarely happens. So pretty much, yeah, if it's that situation, attorneys have to turn it down because they're not going to sue somebody individually. Costs a lot of money. You get an order, then good luck collecting. So you lose out on representation, and it really doesn't matter how hurt you are or how at fault they are. Just the same, if an accident has a policy limit of 100,000 BI, well, then we could take our time, treat, not rush into the demand. If there's only 10,000 and there's an objective finding on an MRI, you want to settle quick so that way your client gets the money and not the doctor.
Makes perfect sense.
A lot of these big law firms, they don't tell their clients. They don't really care. They get paid. The doctor gets paid. The client doesn't get anything, and they really don't care.
Talk about the critical time frame that you got to work with if you're a victim.
The 14-day period? Yeah, that's critical. Well, in Florida, it's a no-fault state when it comes to PIP. So the first 10,000, and you have to have it by law, is PIP. You have 10,000 in PIP. That pays for the first $10,000 in treatment or in lost wages. If you don't go to the doctor within 14 days from the accident, that $10,000 becomes $2,500. Wow. So you don't want to do that.
So keep in mind, if you have any legal questions, get in touch with Jason. Jason, KobalLaw.com. What's another way they can get in touch with you?
TampaWorkCompLaw.com.
TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Kobal, Kobal Law, comes on the show all the time with great information. We're wrapping up, Jason. Anything else you want to add? You got about 20 seconds. How about the site? When do you feel like it's full go?
It's launched, but we anticipate it's going to be about 90% mobile, 10% website. So you could check it out. You could fill out your profile, but right now there's not a lot of members because you have to start with 0 legally.
Right.
But I can't wait for the mobile site to get going or the mobile
Very
apps.
cool. What a great idea. Yep. Jason Kobal, what an entrepreneur. SingleDems.com. Soon to come, more parties are going to be represented as well. Everyone's going to have a chance to meet their political counterpart. All right, so thanks for coming in today, Jason. This has been the Consumer Quarterback Show. I want to thank Brandon for building the Consumer Quarterback Show and giving me the opportunity to host when he's not here. Please patronize our sponsors and all our great partners. They're available for you at consumerqb.com. They've taken time out of their day to kind of provide value to you, and we want you to do the same for them. Make sure that you check us out online again at consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, welcome into the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. My name is James DeJerome. I'm the producer of the Consumer Quarterback Show. I've been with Brandon for a couple of years now. Brandon started this show about 7 years ago. He wanted to be an advocate for you in the Bay Area. He wants to be your local economist of choice. He has a real estate business. He's a real estate professional. He owns the Platinum MVP team here in the Bay Area. And as a real estate professional, he was meeting all these great folks in the home services. You know, he had a roofer, a plumber, an air conditioning guy. He needed a cleaning company, a moving company. Well, he thought, man, I've got this great network of professionals that I work with all the time. Why don't we bring them on a radio show and let the whole Bay Area take advantage of their knowledge? So that's how the consumer advocacy angle of the show started. The Consumer Quarterback Show was born as a way of bringing you information and knowledge from all these business owners that come on our show, take time out of their busy day to provide some information, all hoping that your dollar goes farther in the marketplace, that you make smarter decisions when purchasing. So Brandon put that show together. I'm so glad he did. In addition to our great partners that he's recruited, we have sponsorship as well. So one of our new sponsors is Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning. As a real estate professional here in the Bay Area, you can imagine you're going to need a cleaning company. A lot of these deals have to get done in a hurry. You need a property cleaned, somebody moved in or moved out. Well, Jade stepped right up. This is locally owned. We talk a lot about local economy. We want to support our local business owners. Well, Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning is certainly that. She's a family-owned local business right here in the Bay Area. Check them out online. If you need any cleaning, Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning is the cleaning company for you. All right, we've got some real estate properties as well. We're going to pitch a bunch on the show today. If you are interested in any of the properties you hear pitched on the Consumer Quarterback Show, please get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. They've got real estate opportunities both commercially and residentially. And, of course, he's got land to build on as well. So Johnny's going to throw up a few properties for you. Here's one in the Bel Air area. If you're looking for a 2.5 bath with a 2-car garage, 422 Wildwood Way in Bel Air. Newly renovated wood floor, real close to the beaches. Sharp-looking cabinets. Got that new white cabinetry that Chris Robinson's always talking about from About Face Cabinetry. If you want to get to the Bel Air area, 422 Wildwood Way, get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. Okay, here's another one in Palm Harbor. This is a 2-2 condo with a 2-car garage, vaulted ceilings, nice spacious layout. New granite in there, accent lighting. It's right on the water. You got a bonus room. 4209 Preserve Place in Palm Harbor. Don't leave money on the table. Residential, commercial, whether you need land. Brandon and the Platinum MVP team have all your real estate needs covered. Okay, in our Salem Media Group studios, Kevin Overstreet is here. Kevin's been on our show a bunch of times. He brings great information about things you may not have even considered. He's got protection for homeowners and stories about things that have happened to homeowners here in the Bay Area that'll just rock you. You will not believe some of the things that have gone on. Kevin, what is the latest and what's going on today?
Well, as I was mentioning in the prior to the show,
right.
I come on here quite often. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoy the heck out of being here, and
we certainly like it.
A lot of fun. But I typically get into some pretty
details,
into the weeds.
Yeah.
I guess you would say, with some kind of complex things that are simple to me because I've done this since I stopped bartending in '98. Okay. But today, what I'd like to do is try to help your listenership get an understanding of what title insurance actually is, how it works, and I hope I'm not losing people already because it sounds boring, but I promise I won't be. And then also some of its limitations, and then a few tips on people that need to have a title company in their corner, even if they're not buying or selling. So
okay. So we're going to learn a little bit about insured title today. He's got a business. You're busy all over the place. You've got all kinds of things going on, Kevin.
Yeah. So insured title, we call it ITA. That's my main company that's been around the longest. It's been here about 16 years, and I'm the sole owner of that company. And then related to that in a way, I've created 6 other businesses that are all really to help the consumers and the people involved in the transaction, whether it's mortgage people or real estate folks. And
Kevin's an author as well.
Yeah. It's not quite published, so I guess I'm a pre-author.
Okay.
I'm pre-authorized. Right. But so the book, The Fraud Shine State, and it's the first in what I believe will be a series of books, and it's specifically about title fraud that happens in the state of Florida. It's a rampant crime that folks just don't they don't hear about.
Yeah, I admit I was completely naive to this until Kevin came on. I had no idea this could be done.
It kind of gets covered up, and that's not the subject of the show today, but an example is there's a title company, a very good title company in Hillsborough County. I won't name their name, but it was discovered late 2018 that a person working there in the closing position, which is the person you need if you're the bad guy, she facilitated, I don't know if it's he or she facilitated the sale of over 60 stolen properties. Wow. And it's not, as we've talked about, it's not taking your house and putting it on a truck and taking it away.
You'll never know.
Yeah. And so yes, it's a very unknown crime. The subtitle of the book is Exposing the Epidemic of House Stealing in Florida. And I'm excited for it to come out, but we do have a couple real-time developing stories that are coming to a conclusion soon. So
How about that? Breaking news. Kevin's going to come back with all kinds of stuff for us.
Yeah.
Now, I admit I don't understand my title that much or why I need it. Help me.
Sure, absolutely. So I could talk about how title insurance started in the 1860s and then lose everyone for sure because who really cares, right? But the title insurance is a vital thing. And also, like I said, having a title company that you're familiar with is also very important. So what title insurance traditionally is when it's a search. So we do a search of the public records, and it's almost always issued at the time of property purchase. It doesn't have to be, but that's when it usually happens. And so we, title companies, we do a search kind of all the way back in time to when the field became lots and blocks, basically.
Okay.
And make sure that the seller is in a position to sell the property or to convey title to the property correctly. And if it's remarkable how often homeowners don't know that there's an issue on their title because they got a piece of mail about a permit that wasn't closed or something like that, and it's become a lien, and they don't understand how to go into public records, and they don't necessarily have to. The book actually does teach people how to go in and check everything for the title to their property, but So in order for the buyer to take title with no what's called encumbrances, which is liens or problems to the title, we have to pay off the mortgage that the seller has and any other issues that there may be. One of the most common things is the seller may not believe he or she is still married to their spouse. I haven't seen that person in 15 years and we hate each other. Well, they're going to have to sign something, and they might get some money from that. So there's there's very commonly a lot of cleanup that has to happen prior to that sale, and that's our job. So we're technically a disinterested third party. We handle the money, we handle the paperwork, and then we get fees for that, and then we transfer the ownership to the buyer via a warranty deed, and then we issue title insurance to them. And that's the one type of policy that homeowners care about. That is the owner's policy of title insurance. And then the other one is the lender's policy of title insurance, because we also insure their lender, if they have one, their lender's financial position in the property, so that when it goes to sale or foreclosure or refinance, they get paid first. And those are two separate policies. One is the owner's policy is really ensuring that the land, the legal description, the lot, and the ownership of that. The house means nothing. Not that the house means nothing, but if the house burns down, it doesn't affect title insurance. Okay. So, and
this search can go back quite a ways.
It can. We typically don't have to because the records in Florida, outside of the fraudulent ones, are very good. They're very available, and there's a really get into weeds, which I won't do, but there's a thing called the treaty, which is if another title underwriter had insured up to 5 years ago, we can trust that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We're allowed to, so we can actually just go back to that transaction. And I have one quick story that's very important. It's a very good illustration of why it's needed. So a lot of folks will say, "Why would I buy title insurance?" It says it's optional right here on this document, and it is, but about 4 years ago, and this story's in my book as well, we had a very normal transaction. A gentleman and lady owned a property as husband and wife, and then he passed away, and then they held it correctly, so she then owned all of the property. We did a search and everything, and it looked fine, and then she sold the property to a buyer down in, I want to say Naples.
Right.
And
nothing unusual so far?
Nothing at all. Nothing. And then I get a letter from an attorney that says you can't insure her. He's still married in Greece. So the gentleman got married in Greece. In Greek law, allegedly or apparently says that that wife still has rights to the property, any property that he owns.
Anything.
Yeah. Did he know that? Did his new wife know that? I don't know, and it's a little bit irrelevant. But so the transaction happened. We insured the new buyer, and then that was all discovered, and it was a mess. They sent a bunch of public records from Greece, written in Greek, to me, and I was excited because I got to be deposed, and I had this punchline in my head for a year and a half, and the attorney for the other side asked if I got these documents and the letter, and I said yes, and he said, "And what'd you think?" And I said, "Well, it was all Greek to me." So
saw that coming.
Very long wait for a punchline.
I saw that one coming.
But the point is, the buyer who had title insurance was completely protected. So our underwriter stepped in, and it was a title claim, and they made the situation go away. They basically paid the Greek wife half of the value of the property. And if that hadn't happened, or if title insurance didn't exist, then that poor buyer, if she had just said, "I don't want title insurance, I want to save the $2,000 or whatever the premium was," she would have been fighting against attorneys from Greece, or people here that were enforcing those rules, and she would have been on her own. She very likely would have lost half of the value of the property and had no one to sue. You can kind of sue the seller because the warranty deed contains some language that they're guaranteeing the passage of clear title, but she would have been on her own. And title insurance, it's like any type of insurance. You get into a car accident, and then you have these huge lawyers from the insurance companies coming in to defend you. So it's a crucial thing to have for every homeowner. Something that I think almost no one knows is it's very easy to void the policy. So if you change title, if you take a property, if James buys a property and you're the insured buyer, insured owner, and then you deed the property into a trust that you control, your policy just disappeared.
Really?
Because you've changed title and you're the insured party. you were the insured party. And that's something that is relatively unknown because that's a very common thing.
So any alteration?
Yes.
Wow.
Adding a husband or wife, there are certainly exceptions. And you can also chat with the underwriter, the title underwriter that's on your policy, and ask them how to do it correctly. They can reissue the title, insuring both people or whatever the case may be. But probably between the properties that don't have title insurance at all and the ones that have had a scenario like that happen to, I would guess, somewhat educated guess, that probably 35 to 40% of the properties in the state of Florida don't have insurance.
Kevin Overstreet, insuredtitle.com. These are things that I'd never thought about before. You know, Kevin came on and talked about the way your property can be vulnerable. And of course, we all think about security systems, you know, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about public records and people with knowledge of records and how to use them. You better have someone who understands this approach, because this is something that's only going to get more larger and become a larger problem because the clerical side is getting messier.
Yes, that's an excellent segue, James. Thank you. So the big glaring limitation of title insurance, and I love title insurance. Trust me, my people have closed in my career over 40,000 transactions. It's allowed me to have a great living, and I'm a fan of it.
Right.
However, it is the only type of insurance that is rear facing. And what that means is so we do that search of the past. And then when you purchase the property, we're ensuring that you at that moment own the property in whatever form you were supposed to own it. So typically free and clear, except your mortgage that you just took out to buy it with. And and that's when you pay your premium. Mm-hmm. So every other type of insurance, you pay your premium and then it starts.
Right.
The coverage period begins. Title insurance, when that deed is recorded, putting you in title, which is the moment, that's the effective date to the minute of the title insurance policy, that's the end of the coverage period. So as crazy as it sounds, you can be a victim of title fraud and you have no protection. And by title fraud, I mean someone deeding the property with a fraudulent deed or tricking you into it, away from you and into their control so they can sell or finance the property. That's the big crime that's happening everywhere, because it expires. And expired's a scary word, but
right.
It expires the moment that it is issued.
So what's the play then, Kev?
Well, it's to back up just a little. It's still very important to have, because going back to that Greek wife scenario,
right.
That could have happened 5 years later, and the buyer still would have been protected unless she had changed title. So the reason the crime is so easy, there's several of them. So title insurance started because of title fraud, but it was a different type of fraud. It was Abe Lincoln, actually, his family lost their house twice. And if they hadn't, he would probably be a farmer in Indiana. Probably not still, but so
we can thank title insurance for Honest Abe.
Yeah, so he the reason that it was necessary is public records weren't.
Sure,
there weren't public records,
Absolutely.
but there were records, land records, and simply someone else would just show up with documentation that looked better, and say that's my land, and maybe they're stealing land from the rightful owner, maybe they're getting back from the crook, and everybody carried guns back then, so it's not the right time to be fighting over land.
Wow.
So it was created to protect from that kind of thing, and it's very effective. And then in the 50s, the Freedom of Information Act was passed, and that made records public. That's why we call them public records. And that was fine for decades, because sure, you could do some nefarious things, but you have to go to the courthouse, you have to have the original documents. They see you, and it's difficult.
Face to face.
Yeah, and then comes the internet, of course. And now I can sit here at this computer and search any property in Florida and see everything about it and see exactly how to create a fake deed. And then I don't go to the courthouse. I can be in China or Afghanistan. We don't have to pick on the Chinese all the time.
Boy, that convenience will get you sometimes.
Electronic recording goes in, and the county records it, and then
it's out there in public record.
And then you no longer own your property, but you don't know that because there's not no one tells you that. Mm-hmm. And there are some services that are free. There's one in the area here called propertyfraudalert.com. Everyone should subscribe to it, but the issue or the limitation there is it searches just by name. And I think I mentioned this last time, but I went in and said, I'm John Williams, and here's my email address. And that was about a year ago, and I've gotten about 300 emails from them. And I don't think one guy's that active. But
Kevin Overstreet, InsuredTitle.com. You can see how this thing is a blind spot for most people. You know, I had no idea. Most people don't. If you don't have somebody working for you or a professional with an eyeball that knows this thing, you can get burned. And Kevin has a great example. Gentlemen saying, what are you talking about? I got a shotgun. No one's taking my house. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter that you have a shotgun. This thing's going on in the background.
Nobody's taking your house, but we're going to create fake equity in your house and steal all of that. And then... bring the shotgun to court. You might get a better result.
All right, Kevin, we're get you out of here right now. Tell us the best way to folks who have questions. What can they do to get in touch with you?
One other really quick thing.
Yeah.
Renters, before you rent a property, contact a title company. Have them do a quick title search. You're not going to get title insurance, but scams are happening everywhere where people pretend they own a property, steal your first month's rent and security deposit. We'll do them for free. As a courtesy to a few people. We're not going to do hundreds of them, but a title company will do that search for you for like $50.
Wow, so you might not even think you need it, but there's an example where it might help you.
Yeah. So the best way to get in touch with Insured Title is go to insured-title.com. Our main office is in West Chase and second office in South Tampa. I can be reached at via email at kevin@kevinoverstreet.com. And...
Well, we're going to bring Kevin back. He's got developments on the way in the book and with other stories about this kind of crime that you won't believe the kind of stuff we're talking about. When do you think, Kev? When do you think the next development will be in this? You're trying to get in touch with detectives who are working the case now?
Yeah, there's one detective, and I haven't heard back from him. I was expecting to a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I don't want to harass a detective.
But I don't blame you.
But yeah, it'll be shocking.
All right, we're going to bring him back in with all that information for you. Thanks so much for coming in, Kevin Overstreet.
Thank you.
InsuredTitle.com. He's got a book out. You're going to learn all about this crime. If you don't know about it already, you need to, because it's going on right in our state. All right, when we come back, we've got Greg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay here. He's got great information about your indoor air quality and ways that you might protect your family from COVID-19. Don't go anywhere. This is the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right, consumerqb.com, a great resource for you. You can find all our partners and all our sponsors at that site. The sponsor for this segment is Discovery Golf Cars. You know, not just for golfers anymore. Everyone has a golf cart, business, recreation. This is the place to go. Discovery Golf Cart has lots of makes and models. Easy Go, Star EV, Cushman. They sell them new and pre-owned. They have opportunities to rent or buy. They offer financing and even have mobile repair come right out to you. If you want to check them out, Tampa or Clearwater locations or online at discoverygolfcars.com. Okay, Brandon is a owner of the Platinum MVP team. We've got real estate opportunities for you. We're going to pitch a few right now. Johnny's going to throw one up on the screen for me in Spring Hill. If you want to get in the Spring Hill area, I have 41 acres. Man, that's a lot of land right there at County Road 52 and Highway 41 in Pasco County. Again, the Spring Hill area, 12500 Hamlin, 41 acres. You want to start a ranch or be a farmer? There it is right there. Get in touch with Brandon. Great opportunity to build, do whatever you want out there. Lots of room in Spring Hill. Here's one in Newport Richey, a full acre. This is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,100 square feet, a full acre there right on the water, 6128 Oak Ridge Ave. You want to get into Newport Richey, great residential opportunity from the Platinum MVP team. Brandon has real estate, even in this time of low inventory. Don't leave money on the table. Get in touch with Brandon. Okay, we got a little time before the break. I wanted to bring Greg Bowman in and just talk about what we're going to talk about today. Greg does a great job with indoor air quality. You know, he's the AC guy of Tampa Bay. So you don't get to be the AC guy of Tampa Bay if you don't know much about air conditioning. I've learned so much from Greg about the ins and outs of air quality and all that stuff. What's going on? What's the latest over there at AC guy of Tampa, Greg?
Well, actually, the weather has turned cool enough that we've actually got a few no-heat calls coming in. So a little early, I think, for that. But,
so you find Floridians don't even have a heat pump sometimes?
A lot of them do not, yeah. A lot of people, you know, especially native Floridians who've been here all their life, when it gets cool, they just love it, and they don't bother turning heat on. But usually, a snowbird or a northerner's down here, if it gets a little cool, they may turn heat on.
And we talk about that smell. People say, my house is burning. There must be something burning.
Yeah, it's when the unit's been sitting off for, all summer, actually, more than that, really, because we turn them off probably in February. Dust accumulates in there on the heating coils, and when you fire that off, it burns that dust off, so you get that burning smell. We actually turned the heat on in our office today just to burn that off so we wouldn't have that, coming up.
Yeah, I used to work. I told you I was in the media for a while. I used to get calls as a photographer to go out in the middle of the night for a house fire. It was never a house fire. It was always just somebody with dust burning off in their AC unit heater. Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, Greg's gonna talk about indoor air quality. It's a huge issue for us. Greg, just a few seconds here. Talk about the UV thing for me, just for 20 seconds.
UV is a product that's used for treating in the quality of our indoor air, for removing bacteria, molds, mildews, viruses from the air. Can also be used, though there's technologies that utilize it to tackle chemicals in the air as well, and odors. So it's a great product for
this is a really cool thing that I had no idea about. I want to introduce this to you as consumers out there in case you're concerned about your indoor air quality, and certainly who wouldn't be? You spend most of your time in your house. If your indoor air quality is poor, your health is going to be poor. So we talk a lot about respiratory distress, especially with COVID-19. Everyone's worried about their immune system and everything. Indoor air quality is someplace you don't want to skimp. So when we come back from the break, Greg's going to tell us all about some of the products and some of the things he can do. Don't go anywhere. Again, the Consumer Quarterback Show, all our partners, all our sponsors. Check them all out, consumerqb.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Alrighty, everyone, stand by, please.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
That's right. Give Brandon a call. He's got all your real estate needs covered. As a Bay Area realtor for many years, he's got property even in this time of low inventory. We got a great sponsor for you for this segment. It is Replenish IV Solutions. What a cool concept. Replenish IV Solutions. If you want to feel energized, hydrated, and replenished, they use safe and effective ways to restore your body's systems. We talk about our immune system. We're going to talk a little bit with Greg about COVID and things that your AC, your indoor air quality might affect. Well, Replenish IV Solutions is there for you too. They want to max out your immune system by giving you an infused drip. They'll come out and hook an IV up with great nutrients for you. They'll come right to you if you can't get to one of their locations. So really cool business model. Longtime friends of the program, replenishivsolutions.com. And we got a property for you as well. As I've told you before, Brandon owns the Platinum MVP team. He's a Keller Williams agent, and he's got real estate opportunities for you, even in this time of low inventory, if you're looking to get into Brandon. In the Brandon area, 4-2 with a 2-car garage right in a cul-de-sac, 2,160 square feet in Brandon, 3405 Gray Whetstone. Really updated interior, looks really sharp, vaulted ceilings, white cabinetry, just like Chris from About Face talks about. So great opportunity for you in the Brandon area. Give Brandon Rhymes a call. Don't leave money on the table. He's got real estate for you all the time. Before the break, we had Greg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, in the chair, and we still do. Greg's got great information for us. We're going to talk a little bit about air quality. We all talk about COVID-19, and certainly we're worried about our indoor air quality and our immune system. I don't think a lot of folks know about the ability to filter your air beyond just having a standard air filter. So if you could, Greg, just talk about some of the options out there for people looking to improve their indoor air quality.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's a lack of awareness about what you can do about your air quality, and COVID's actually making that more prevalent and bringing attention to it. But the standard air filter that you typically think of with your air conditioner that you change really doesn't do much for your air quality. That's more designed to protect your equipment from getting dirty.
Okay.
But there are more highly advanced filtration systems that can be installed to remove fine dust particles, dust mites. But then the UVs that we talked about, before the break, those get into tackling the other two areas that are what the EPA calls danger areas in air quality. That would be the biologicals, COVID being one of those, viruses, molds, mildews. And then the other danger areas is the VOCs, or the chemicals in the air, the off-gassing from the new furniture that you bought or the brand new carpet. That smell that we like, it's actually not the best for our lungs. And the UV products that are out there, a lot of them can tackle that as well.
So I think a lot of folks, again, I was one of them, I don't realize there's biological animals in our air. It's kind of a crazy thing to think about, that there are living creatures you're breathing in all the time.
Yeah, it is kind of disturbing if you think about it. I've seen some pictures already and some statistics on the number of dust mites that are floating around in the air. And if you really look at it, it disgusts you.
Yeah, you don't want to see the microscopic level of what's going on.
You do not, exactly.
So, in this, like we talk about COVID-19 impacting us all the time, but certainly it made this more on the top of our head. We're aware of our indoor air quality. We're thinking about our respiratory system. What are some of the symptoms that folks might experience? Just coughing, you know what I mean? You're in your house, you don't realize you've got dust or something building up, and all of a sudden you've got some itchy eyes and irritated throat.
All the allergic symptoms that we think of, those all can be contributed to air quality. Dust mites are a huge allergy thing, so that can cause allergic symptoms. So a good way to kind of see it is if you feel better when you leave your house and when you come home you start having symptoms. It's kind of a good indicator that maybe you ought to look at what's going on inside the home.
Now, anything in terms of new developments with air conditioning manufacturers that are incorporating this UV technology into their base units? Are you seeing more of this go out in terms of commercial or residential AC units?
For years, some of the manufacturers on their higher end equipment have done that.
Okay.
Lennox, 20 years ago already started building an air handler that had a lot of the stuff built into it. Trane has done that. But most of them have pulled back from that because it's very easy to add to just about any air conditioning system. So to incorporate it into the system itself just makes that product more expensive and forces it upon somebody who may not want it. So it's an optional item basically in most of the market that can be added to anything.
How would you do that, Greg? In the air handler when you come into an existing location?
Correct. Yeah, most of it's installed in the air handler. Some of the products are after the air handler. Some of them are installed before, and some are installed inside of the air handler. So it just kind of depends on what we're tackling, whether it be particulates, which would be dust and dirt, dander, dust mites. Biologicals are typically treated inside the air handler or after it. Same thing with the VOCs, typically after the air handler.
Now, I think of lights. I've seen some of this used in aquariums. Sometimes restaurants use these kind of lights as a way of killing bacteria, germs. In the air situation, is it actually projected into the air? How does it work there, Greg?
Well, the basic technology is ultraviolet light. There are other technologies that take off of that, but the basic technology of ultraviolet light, basically UV lights which are put off by the sun, one particular wavelength is used, and that wavelength, 254C, is used to disrupt the cell membranes and the DNA, basically, of biologicals. So it kills viruses, bacteria, molds, mildews when they pass past the lights. The lights are typically installed inside the unit, shining on a surface, and as the air moves past it, anything that's floating in that air comes in contact with those rays of light, rays of energy, and it's disruptive to their DNA.
That's why he's our guy for AC. Greg Bowman has more knowledge about air conditioning than you realize. You think you turn it on and cool your house off. There's nothing there's so many more features nowadays with air conditioning. There's smart features. There's all kinds of things going on that you can have options in your air conditioning unit.
Most definitely, yeah. It's not like our grandparents' air conditioning, which just cooled the temperature and removed some humidity. We can focus. Systems today can be targeted to switch back from dehumidifying to cooling to, with the UV products for treating the air quality. So there's a lot that can be done with your air conditioning.
Lots of tech advances in thermostats and all kinds of things out there. Greg stays on top of all this stuff, as you can tell. He's got great knowledge in this space. What have you seen in terms of any particular products that new construction? Tampa's covered in new construction, got cranes everywhere. Is there one particular AC unit that manufacturer that comes in and does a whole subdivision or a whole condominium, makes a big deal like that, and then you come in behind him and say, boy, sometimes when you buy in mass, with these units, you see a knockoff, like a Carrier, a second grade, or they make a smaller unit or a less expensive unit that you see in these condominiums, these huge apartment complexes, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do they get lifetime out of that like you would for a home unit?
No, not really. Almost all the manufacturers have their premier line, and then they'll have a builder's grade is what we typically call it, which is designed for the new construction market, and it's basically a lower priced product, but typically doesn't have the lifespan. The interesting thing about the market is 30 years ago, your big brands with their premier lines, those were great products.
Yeah.
Today, the builder's grade and the premier products, there's probably not a whole lot of difference. The real difference is how well they're installed. I'm very confident that we could take a builder's grade product and install it in your home and spend some extra time and do some extra steps to install it right, and you'll get just as much performance out of that as you would of a premier unit. Now, you don't have all the features, the dehumidification and all that the premier products would have, but lifespan-wise, that's more dependent on how well it's installed.
That's some great advice for all you folks out there in the Bay Area. We talk about being your consumer advocate. Air conditioning is a big expense. You can spend a lot of money on these units. Greg's telling you that it's all about having a professional installer, because if the thing is installed incorrectly, it doesn't matter if you have the top of the line, because you're not going to it's going to frustrate itself with cooling. Circulation is going to be bad. Greg's a pro. He'll come in and check out all your rooms. You're not going to have one room that's hot and one room that's cool. He's got solutions for all that stuff.
Yeah, we definitely do. There's so many options that are available that any problem that's out there with your home comfort can be solved. And there's not anyone that can't.
Greg, what's the best way to get in touch with you, and what can they expect if they want to check out this UV thing or try to improve their indoor air quality at their house?
Best way to reach us is our direct on the phone at 727-286-3170. Our website, acguyoftampa.com. Just take the and bay off of our name and just go acguyoftampa.com. You'll have all our contact info there. But we do free estimates. So if you have a concern about indoor air quality, we're more than willing to come out and give you a free assessment and a quote on what the options would be best for your home.
What about bundling services? Is that an idea, or you have a package? What's your maintenance package there, Greg?
Our VIP
That's
program.
Right, the VIP program.
Yeah, the VIP program is our maintenance package. That's where we take care of all your annual maintenance. Twice a year, we're coming out, cleaning your units, making sure your drain is not backing up on you, making sure any problems that are developing are caught before they become a major breakdown. We do all that for $14 a month, getting all that, as well as getting some other benefits with that.
You can see you better to handle this. Outside of your roof, I think your AC unit's probably about the biggest single investment in your home. You better have someone who knows what they're doing. AC guy of Tampa, Greg Bowman, is our guy in that space. Get in touch with Greg for all your air conditioning needs or any questions you have. He'll come out and help you out. Greg, I want to thank you for coming in so much. You do such a great job for us as our partner in that space. When we come back, I have Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness, is going to join us after the break, and I got our feel-good story for you about a FedEx driver who went out of her way to commit a random act of kindness. Brandon kind of wants to make sure everyone commits a random act of kindness. I love the fact that it's spreading. Come on back and hear the story about how our random act is spreading all across the country.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253.
Check out consumerqb.com. Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right, consumerqb.com is the spot to find all our partners and our sponsors. The sponsor for this segment is Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving company of the Consumer Quarterback Show. You know, they moved Brandon himself. That's how they became the official moving company for us. And these guys do such a great job. They've got tons of Angie's List Super Service Awards. Check them out online at brotherseasymoving.com. And of course, Brandon is a real estate professional. He's got properties available for you, even in this time of low inventory. Johnny's going to throw one up on the screen for me this time. What do you got, Johnny? Here's one in Tampa. You know, if you're looking to build something, we've got a lot for you right near downtown. 12 minutes from downtown Tampa, 4 minutes from the yacht club. If you want to build 5510 South Elkins Ave, right in Tampa, a chance for you to build your own home in Tampa. What a great opportunity from Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. All right, part of our show is the feel-good story, and he talks a lot about the random act of kindness. We encourage everybody to commit a random act of kindness, and I have a story about how our random act is spreading. A mother in Ohio shared a heartwarming story with photos on Facebook after a FedEx driver left an unexpected gift for her son. Kalita Wheeler said her FedEx driver, who revealed her name only as Aubrey, bought her son Elijah a brand new basketball and a hoop along with a touching note. She said, "I just wanted your son to have the best hoop that'll grow with him and all his friends. It's wonderful that you guys go out and shoot hoops with him," she said. Well, the mother was stunned. You know, she didn't know where to begin. As she walked to the porch, she noticed the ball and the instruction manual. She read the letter. She said she instantly started crying. She said, "Come to find out, the random act of kindness that happened right at our home. I finally read the small print and the corner, wondering who Aubrey was. I then realized it was our female FedEx truck driver that delivers in our area. She's come around here when Eli and his friends were playing basketball, or Dan and I were out shooting with him, and she thought she'd help." What an amazing thing that she did for him out of pure kindness. There are still very much good people in the world. I'm going to have Elijah write her a letter, thank you, and give her a thank you card next time she comes through. She says, "Thank you, Aubrey, so much. You made his day. Can't wait to see you come through. I owe you a world of thanks. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. God bless you, Aubrey." So the whole idea of the random act of kindness is, folks, you're going to feel better about it yourself. You're going to help someone out. You're going to feel better about it. And you be first. You pay it forward. And let's see how far this thing can spread, because that's all it takes is you to be the first one. So please consider committing a random act of kindness. Okay, in our Salem Media Group studios now is Alex Lima. Black Belt Fitness. Alex does all kinds of great events for us. He's doing a lot of charity stuff out there as well. What's going on, Alex?
Yeah, what's up, man? How's it going?
Pretty
nice
good,
to be back.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so we have every year my group, my business, we do a Toys for Tots. Like, you know, we get a run going. I get clients and we announce it to the community and just try to get some get some presents in for underprivileged children, essentially.
Well, I think a lot of folks don't realize that training for martial arts is not just for guys who want to compete in a fighting. You know, this is about fitness as well. So Alex works with kids, females, people of all ages, right? It's for everybody.
Absolutely, everybody. I've trained everybody from, military and law enforcement personnel to, soccer moms and even some grandmothers.
That's right.
So, yeah.
You find the kids they take to it right away. They're a little, they all want to do a spinning back kick. We talk about how they're all jumping out there trying to do something crazy right away.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I've noticed is, so I've been doing this for a long time. I've been in this since I was a little kid. I've seen, waves of martial arts people come in and out the door. Kids are a little different nowadays. I don't know if I should be maybe saying this, but I find that the generation thinks I don't know. Nowadays, people tend to be a little softer.
Okay.
I think.
No, certainly I am.
And you know what I'm finding though. So the boys, and I got some really tough boys though. I'm not saying all boys, right? But a lot of the boys are a little softer, kind of mama's boy type thing. And I'm finding my girls are a lot tougher.
How about that?
You know,
there's an age at which I used to date a woman who taught third grade, and I went in and watched one time, and the girls dominated the entire class. I mean, they're pushing people around, they beat a boy up, any voice at that age. The girls, they're aggressive. You can teach them great skills, I imagine.
Oh, for sure. If I was getting a dodgeball squad together right now, I'd be picking all girls. I'd get all girls.
Now, what about you? You're sometimes you're fighting, you're training. What's going on with you?
Yeah, so due to COVID, it shut down a lot of things. This year, 2020, I was supposed to do a lot of competing and traveling for training, and obviously that was all shut down. Couldn't get to the airports, things like that. So, but now things are starting to open back up again. So I'm going to be doing a training camp down in Miami come after Thanksgiving, so for first week of December.
So on location in Miami, you go down there and get a bunch of kids together?
No. I'm going to go train with some high level black belts out there, guys that fight, compete, train with some of the best. Every time I get an opportunity, I want to be with the best in the world.
How does Miami and Tampa compare? Just a chance for you to work on new stuff?
Different. It's just a different look. I've actually trained with the guy before. It's Daniel Perez, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
He's really interesting because he was the first American that was awarded a black belt by Damian Maia. For those that don't know, Damian Maia is he has the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for mixed martial arts.
And that's pretty much the top of the sport.
It's pretty much the Super Bowl of mixed martial arts.
What weight do you compete at? What's your comfortable weight?
So I've kind of I'm at the point now where unless I get a decent money offer, I'm kind of done cutting weight.
Okay.
So I'll fight really close to where I'm at. So I walk around I'm 6 foot 190.
Okay.
So I may cut to like 185.
I love how weight is not weight, and even power is not necessarily the dividing line in mixed martial arts. You can have people of all different sizes that can be pretty deadly.
Absolutely, a strategy and technique is what it's all about, and that's why like a young lady can come in and she absolutely, with some training, can take out a 200-pound guy. She can choke a guy out for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing the confidence you get from this kind of skill once you develop it. I've watched the little kids. Brandon's daughter even competes with you sometimes.
Yeah. She was in the summer camp, but she's really. I mean, obviously she has the athletic genes,
right.
But anybody can learn this stuff. You don't have to come from an athletic background.
I love the idea that it's great for flexibility too. We talked about older folks as they get older, maybe not thinking about kicking somebody, but certainly that flexibility is huge.
Yeah, I mean, you can see my guys there that are doing that was a sparring day that we had. We got another one coming up on the 28th of this month. Those two came to me with relatively no training whatsoever, and I mean, look at them. They're throwing down in there, so.
So how do you encourage? I can imagine there's kids that you have to coax the aggression out of them. I did the same thing in football.
Yeah, the first thing. So I approach my teaching a little bit differently. Like nobody, I don't care if you tell me that you've trained, unless I know you and I've seen you around. But like even if you tell me that you've trained before, nobody walks into my gym and just jumps right into sparring and doing the full contact stuff. Right. You need to show me that you have a level of control before I let you do these things, because you're either going to hurt yourself or you're going to potentially hurt someone else, or it's going to get serious and you're going to end up getting knocked out and not want to come back.
Well, I'm amazed at the pain tolerance. We talked last time you were on about the kicking and shin developing your pain tolerance and your shins and stuff. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing to kick someone. There's just not a lot of flesh below your knee. You're going to hit somebody with your ankle, shin, foot.
Yeah,
wow.
You're killing off you're deadening the nerve endings. That's what you're doing. And no, it's true, and that's what you have to do in order to turn your legs into weapons.
Can you imagine? So tell us the story one more time, just about kicking the parking meters.
Yeah, so I used to train back in the day. I trained with some like really hardcore like Muay Thai guys. I don't know if you remember back in the day the Van Damme movie where he was kickboxer and he's kicking the banana tree, boom boom. So I used to train with these guys that we used to go out to Clearwater and they would kick the parking meters for conditioning. I never like really kicked into the parking meters, but I have taken like glass Coke bottles and stuff and banged my shins.
And so it's something you continually do. It's because you'll lose that tolerance if you stop doing that?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's been kicked in the shins or ran into a table before. It's very unpleasant. So now imagine when you're throwing your leg at 60, 70 miles per hour at somebody.
I never thought of that. You really can time the speed of that thing.
Oh, yeah. They've clocked them. They've said some really powerful, fast kickers have been at like 60 miles per hour and stuff. Imagine 60 mile per hour, anything hitting you. It's unpleasant.
You just think about someone's heel, how hard that is. My goodness. Put you right to sleep. Now, we talked last time. I love that spinning back kick the kid pulled off in that fight that was most recently. Now, that was like a dream strike kind of a thing, right?
Yeah, the stars aligned for that one.
Right.
Yeah, the guy was holding his weight and he could do a jump spin. It'll definitely go down in the knockout reels for life.
Have you seen any other fights lately? I have not been paying attention. Who's out there?
Again, fighting even at the big stage has been weird. Like, I don't know if you know that the UFC actually had to buy an island.
Oh yeah, Fight Island.
They bought an island out in Abu Dhabi in order to be able to be in international waters to put on fights.
Man, that guy's a businessman, that guy.
That's what it comes down to. You know?
Now, women also jumping into this thing huge. What percentage of girls do you work with?
You know, it's bizarre. It goes through waves. Like, there was a while where like 90% of my clientele was women, and I couldn't get guys to come in because they would come in and see just a bunch of women kickboxing, and they thought I was doing but if you stayed and watched the class, you would see these girls were like drilling each other, you know. Yeah. And then now it's the majority of my clientele is men now, so it just goes in waves.
It's certainly got a lot more popular in the fitness arena. You know, they're incorporating some of your stuff into general fitness training.
Well, it's so fun. It's it's an activity unlike any other. It's full body. You're using muscles. You're using endurance. You're using your cardio. It's everything. You know, and it's interesting for me. Like, walking on a treadmill is boring. I can't do it. I can't do it. My cardio comes from sparring and from wrestling and stuff with people.
It's great to mix it up. You know, if you're out there and you're someone who trains all the time, you get tired of your workout. You want to mix it up. This is a great way to increase your flexibility. And like you said, it's fun.
Yeah, everything. Now, that being said, I am still a proponent of doing your lifts and stuff and everything. I love to train it all.
So Alex has got a full body holistic approach there. He's going to train everything you need to do to compete in this sport, or just get yourself in better shape. Alex, what events or what can people do? How do they get in touch with you? They come to you?
Yeah, I mean, just on social media, you can look up Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts Club or Black Belt _Jitsu. And I mean, you can see I got 5-star reviews everywhere.
And you come to them, right?
So I do in-house training, and I also do a little bit of traveling within a certain mile radius. Yeah.
Okay, so he's open to the idea of working with you. Certainly, we want to encourage you to get together with Alex, because it's not just a simple matter of getting in shape. You think, well, I can get in shape. What about learning some real defense techniques? What about something, hey, you never know. I'm out in a place. I want to learn how to take a knife away from somebody.
Yeah, walking on a treadmill is not a life skill. Right. I'll give you fitness and a life skill.
That's right. Yeah. So talk about a way you can get somebody to start with awareness and get them to understand how they can defend themselves in a situation.
You got to come in and train. Yeah. Most people I think they did a study that now it's an exaggerated number, obviously, but they said like most men specifically are like 400% less effective in a fight than they actually believe that they are.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because they've never there's a difference when you're facing a high-level opponent. It's one thing to beat up a drunken scrub in like a bar somewhere that no one's ever heard of.
Right.
But a high-level opponent is different. So we train to take on high-level opponents. And if you can compete and take on a high-level opponent, fighting someone that doesn't know how to fight is relatively easy.
Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness. He's come in all the time, gives us great tips, works with Brandon, trains and girls, trains even Braylon, his daughter. So don't miss out on a chance to work with a professional right in our area. Alex, I want to encourage folks to get in touch with you. Is there a package or something you want to offer out there, or something you want to tell them?
I'm always open. One thing that I do with my pricing, if someone is underprivileged or someone that is a victim of bullying or some sort of assault, please reach out to me, and we'll find a way to get you training and get you some help.
Alex Lima does a great job and encourages everyone to work with him. And Alex is also an EMT, right?
Paramedic, yeah.
Paramedic. So he's out there doing great things in the community all the time. We want to thank him for his service as a first responder. If you're interested in working with Alex, check him out online, Black Belt Fitness, Black Belt _Jitsu. Thanks so much for coming in, Alex. All right, I want to thank Brandon for giving me the opportunity to sit in his chair. It's been a great week. We had a great show today. Diane Vance was on yesterday. Today we had Kevin Overstreet, Greg Bowman, Alex Lima. We're doing our best to bring all the partners on. We're going to miss you over the Thanksgiving break, but we want to make sure we have great Consumer Quarterback shows built up for you. So don't go anywhere. Check out our sponsors. We're the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're online at consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.